Remember, everything's fine as long as it says small, local, and sustainable. Purely coincidental, but kind of appropriate that Seaspiracy is coming out this week. Why is it appropriate? Well, for the following reasons. I'm sure it's going to be very well done. I'm sure it's going to be thought-provoking and emotional, but is this the data that's going to cause the world to wake up? I mean, it's not like it's the first documentary that's come out that was supposed to make us all say, wait a minute, what are we doing? You know, how many people in the shark world revere shark water as being a wake-up call for finning? In this film, the trailer looks like it also talks about finning a little bit. But what's happening? Has finning gone away? In fact, some first world countries, Australia, are culling sharks and incentivizing finning. In 2021! What the hell is wrong with us? And it's not like 2007's shark water was the first time that anyone had tried to expose finning. I talked to scientists who had been trying to raise awareness on the issue for 20 years prior to that. The data's there. The data's there. The documentaries are there. The other reason that it's appropriate is because of the exact same strategy that is used to fight current studies that already exist. Emotion, economics, a way of life, tradition, culture. Perhaps you heard about the planned attack against Seaspiracy launched by the fishing industry and associated members of the meat industry who are, in fact, part of the fishing industry, since the fishing industry feeds the livestock industry. Seaspiracy has them so concerned that there is a preemptive campaign against Seaspiracy, and it's not based on data. It's based on you're attacking a way of life. You're attacking culture. You're attacking the economy. You're attacking jobs. If we, the human race, cannot find a better way to feed ourselves other than destroying the planet, then one, we don't get to call ourselves the most intelligent, because I think the most intelligent could figure out a way to feed themselves without destroying its home. Two, we don't get to call ourselves sophisticated, because that's just lazy. We're the only species out of all the species on the planet that feels the need to destroy the entire rest of the planet in order to feed itself. Come on. Do any of you really, truly, in your hearts, believe that corporations are out to solve hunger issues? And then economics. Okay, sophisticated, intelligent humans, if you can't have an economy without destroying the planet, then once again, you don't get to call yourselves the most intelligent, and you sure as hell should not be in charge. Adapt and evolve. But then you look for a compromise, because it's like, well, I don't want to really attack all fishermen. I don't really want to attack all of the economy. I want to help. What can I do? And then you're going to be fed this line about ordering in a sustainable manner. Okay, listen, sustainable is about the most abused word ever. Some of you know that I have another channel. I spared the rest of you. And started the other channel because I started doing some work on terrestrial issues, and the exact same lines, the exact same bullshit is used to justify the killing of the planet on land as is used to justify killing the ocean. And we buy into it for the exact same reasons. Economics, jobs, way of life, tradition, culture, feeding the people. Again, on land as on sea, these practices are so unsustainable, so costly that they require massive amounts of government subsidies just to keep operating. You talk about it stimulating the economy when in fact we are financing industries that would not be able to exist without billions in subsidies. You, the taxpayer, are bankrolling the death of the planet. These proud traditions of fishing and ranching are actually welfare recipients. Two things I learned in school last week. The vast majority of fishing conservation budgets are actually spent on exploring and finding new areas of the ocean to exploit. We were supposed to have protected 30% of the ocean by 2010 in order for us to survive. It's 2021 and we're nowhere near that. I played the game. I went to a restaurant a long time ago and I said, please, I would like to learn more about this local sustainable fish. The waiter couldn't answer me. The restaurant manager couldn't answer me. And later on they came out and said, we tried to find out some more information for you, but it didn't say anything on the box. Huh, your local sustainable fish came in a box from somewhere else and you don't know anything about it, yet you had no problem putting it on your menu as local and sustainable. But sustainable is only a word. Look at how we catch fish, even in sustainable markets. It looks like a rape job. Look, I started the other channel because I knew most people weren't ready to hear some of these things that I was discovering for myself, because I used to repeat some of the same old stuff. But I realized eventually that if I was going to call myself a conservationist or a preservationist, I couldn't pick and choose which animals I wasn't going to contribute to the death of based on my lifestyle. I'm not pushing a veganic lifestyle. I'm just saying, in order to not be full of shit, I stopped eating all of them, because sustainable is a bullshit word. It is a manipulated word. It is used in marketing so that people can feel better about continuing to be part of the problem. You know, look at some of the responses that we have scientifically and with technology to face the problems of just removing the ocean from the ocean. We call that fishing these days, but you're just freaking taking the ocean and ripping it out of the ocean. It's crazy how much life we pull out of the ocean. But our response is, well, based on this study that took 10 years of this animal that's almost completely gone, what we recommend is that you drop your hooks down to this depth, and that way you can more effectively only target that animal. Or how about whales and crabs and things like I've encountered here right off the coast of California? You have miles and miles and miles of crab traps tied together by ropes. So many that they actually can drag a whale to the ocean's bottom and drown it. And what's the response? Well, we're going to put signals on it. We're going to look into putting pingers on these things. Not we're going to stop calling sustainable fishing miles of crab traps. We're not going to acknowledge that these whales have been using these waterways for millennia, and they're supposed to just change because we put some pingers on crab traps.
I know. Now they're working on ropeless crabbing. Look, the cycle's going to continue. We're going to keep spending money. We're going to keep spending resources trying to find ways around doing what we should actually do, which is to stop raping the ocean. How long until the next study comes out showing how much damage is being caused by this new method? I know. Again, I'm attacking a way of life. I'm attacking people's livelihood. Well, guess what? I've changed my career multiple times. I adapted, I changed. We're always willing to tell other species to adapt and for them to change, but we don't ever want to when it's necessary. I changed my diet. That wasn't easy. Part of the reason I did it was to find out firsthand whether it was actually doable, to make sure I wasn't full of crap, so that I wasn't proposing something that I myself couldn't prove to be doable. I was tired of the game. I was tired of being hypocritical. So I just wiped death off my plate completely. We're all capable of change. We just have to be honest with the fact that we don't want to. When we're looking at the possibility of fishless oceans by 2048 and your response is, well, it's not the fish I ate, fuck off. Or your response is, it can't possibly happen that fast. I don't care if it's 2148. The fact that it's possible at all should make you stop in your tracks. But I could never give up the taste of crab. I could never give up the taste of salmon. There you go. That's humanity. That's the most sophisticated, civilized animal that is in charge, not wanting to save the earth because of taste buds. The exact same thing again as happens on land. I could never give up bacon.
It's so inspiring. What a great attitude. Is this what you tell your children when they ask about the future of the planet or the suffering of sentient beings? Bacon. Crab. It's our right. It's a way of life. Or do you just not even have that conversation in your household because we're already on multiple generations of people who believe that selfish desire is more important than sacrifice for the greater good? Is this what you tell your child who's overweight by age 5 and obese by age 10 because you insist on eating things that you shouldn't be eating in the first place in quantities that you sure as hell shouldn't be eating? Way of life. America. Now, there's at least a 70% chance that I upset and offended a lot of people with that last statement. Why? Because I'm targeting and picking on a small group of people who have health issues for uncontrollable reasons? No, because 70% of our nation is overweight and unhealthy. But let's make sure to continue on the path that we're on. We clearly have it figured out. Put differently, you can either be an agent of change or you can latch onto the endless supply of excuses that are being supplied to you by the industries that don't want you to change. And no, I have not suffered any physical or health consequences of my diet decisions. In fact, I have benefited from them. Okay, let's wrap this up. I'm curious how many people are still here on the channel after all of this. Do let me know what you thought and if you learned something or if this caused you to think in a different way or what I'm missing entirely from this topic. Thanks for tuning in.